What's up, guys? It's Crash, and it's that time of year when everyone's talking about Call of Duty, but this one's different in my opinion, and I've kind of went through a roller coaster of emotions and opinions with this game when we got leaks about what it was going to be. Now what we're actually hearing is official, how those differ, how they're kind of the same, and this is a different year for Call of Duty, and I want to kind of describe how I've been looking at it and kind of how my opinions have shaped and changed over what this game is looking like and how it's going to be, and I definitely want to take you guys along for that ride and then hear from you down below in the comments where you stand on Modern Warfare Roman numeral 3 and what you think it's going to be. And this kind of all started back last year. You guys remember the leaks when Modern Warfare 2 came out. This was going to be the first Call of Duty. They're going to change the Call of Duty space. Everything is going to change in the Call of Duty universe with COD 2.0, and this game was going to see 2 years of support. That leak kind of ran wild. It came from several different credible sources, and that's what it was going to be. And then within investor calls, they also said that next year there's going to be premium, kind of, they worded it kind of like DLC for Modern Warfare 2, and that's what everyone thought. And then the tune kind of changed over the last couple earnings calls where we heard there's going to be a new Call of Duty AAA premium experience that's going to be, you know, what it is, the $70 price tag that we've grown accustomed to and love so much when it comes to AAA first-person shooter games. So it kind of felt like at first a bait and switch, and I just want to talk about how at first my opinions were really negative and have been really negative, and how they've shifted just a little bit as of very late. So it's easy to kind of hate on Call of Duty, right? They've started to introduce some pay to win type things when it comes to DMZ skins. They've introduced some pay to win things when it comes to how holo sites work with different bundles and stuff like that. And then you have increasingly less and less content for the paid version of the game. And I'm talking about 6v6 multiplayer. As someone who enjoys S&D, I've really felt the lack of content on that side of things, while DMZ, Warzone 2, where they sell the most skins, those have started to take off. Those free versions get all the content because that's where the skin sales come from. And I've had a couple people in my comments start to call the game Modern Storefare, and I think that's incredibly accurate because everything revolves around the store. And then you have the implementation of the Black Cell, which is like a battle pass on top of a battle pass. So you can see just how this essentially Modern Storefare starts to feel like a game that is just a store with a tiny bit of a game, like a side shooter attached to the store. Like everything is snappy and works great in the store. Then when you get in the game, the netcode's not great. It's like the store is running on like 60 hertz servers and the game is running on like 10 hertz servers. It's crazy, but you can tell where their loyalties lie or what they focus on when developing this game, and how the skin economy, there's more and more skins that are for half, some of them are for up to half the price of the full game, and you can tell that's where they're putting all their effort into, not so much content, and you can't blame them. They're making more money having to come up with less maps than in the premiums, than when it was the premium type of business model where we paid for the season pass. And then on top of that being said, you also have the new Warzone map, which is allegedly going to be Las Almas, which we already played in the Modern Warfare 2 campaign a little bit. So it's that same setting. There's also some multiplayer maps in Modern Warfare 2 that take place on Las Almas, which could be where the next Warzone map is. I know we've also seen some Verdansk hints within the latest trailers, which gets people incredibly excited. And then you get into the whole thing about how Call of Duty always cashes in on nostalgia, and they keep charging us for the same maps every single year. And that's a whole nother can of worms that I could get into. But you have, what I'm trying to say is, it really feels like this is actually a DLC. And essentially, I kind of came to the realization with over the last Call of Duty blog where they talked about the carry forward Q&A. Everything is going to carry over essentially from the last game. Weapons from Modern Warfare 2, anything you unlock as far as attachments, anything you unlock or you buy when it comes to operator skins, all that stuff is going to carry over. And it started to make me think like, man, this really is a cop-out. This is kind of a scam, right? They're going to charge us $70 for essentially a DLC pack to Modern Warfare 2. And then it kind of clicked. That's what they said all along. In the investor call, they said that there was going to be a premium experience for Call of Duty. It kind of fits along the lines of it being a premium DLC for the game. They're essentially just calling it Modern Warfare 3, and it's going to be a continuation of the campaign. So they kind of weren't wrong in what they said and they didn't really change course at all. And on top of the fact that I was initially bitter and thinking this was going to be, you know, just another cash grab and an overpriced DLC, I also thought back to when I played Call of Duty more often. And I came into gaming later, granted, so I played a lot of Black Ops 3, some Advanced Warfare, and a lot of that stuff. And I kind of started to get frustrated with anything that I unlocked in the game having to start over. And that could really be seen why I never really went for mastery camos, right? Those take a long time to grind for. You have to do a lot of challenges that I really despise, and you can get these mastery camos. And it used to frustrate me that all these things you unlocked, all these things you got, when the next Call of Duty came out after a year, it's essentially useless, especially on PC. There was never a long enough player base to keep that going. And we always wanted, I know numerous people have always said, I wish Call of Duty would start a game and then just add to it every single year. And that's what I think is actually happening. The mastery camos themselves are carrying over. Everything you've unlocked, all the progress you've made is carrying over. And I think what it's gonna come down to is playable, for me especially, and I wanna know what you guys think, is especially gonna be playable content amount, right? So if we're paying 70 bucks and they're adding all this stuff over and they don't add very much new stuff in playable content, the thing that worries me just a little bit, they did say, in the carry forward blog where they talked about everything that would move over, they did say this blog does not reference the impressive amount of planned Modern Warfare 3 specific weapons and cosmetic content. So they're gonna add a lot of weapons, and they say they're gonna add a lot of cosmetic content. So you guys know the store is gonna be absolutely out of control. But nowhere in here does it say there's gonna be a lot of 6v6 maps, or there's gonna be a lot of Warzone 2 content or anything like that, actual playable content. But adding a whole bunch of guns on top of the guns that were already there, adding new attachments to the ones that were already there that you already unlocked, keeping your weapon mastery camos, I see a lot of that stuff. And even even if you bought a skin, I'm completely against it with the state of the game right now. If you guys know, I play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. They update that game quite a bit going into year 8. I will buy the battle pass for that game every single year, even if I don't get it all unlocked, because I support it. I just feel like personally where Call of Duty is at right now, the state of the game with the netcode, the mechanics in it, I don't enjoy what they're doing with the game and the direction, the amount of time they're spending on skins over fixing the actual game. I don't support buying skins in there. But if you did spend your hard-earned money on skins in Modern Warfare 2, I think it's a good thing that they carry over and you get a little bit more of your money's worth and able to use them in the next title. So as I'm explaining this to myself and kind of word vomiting my feelings to you guys in hopes that you'll tell me what you guys think in the comments, I'm starting to not hate the idea of Modern Warfare 3. And you guys can call me an Activision shill or whatever, all the crazy stuff. I look forward to the comments essentially down below. But I think it's a good thing that everything that we earned, that we paid for, will continue to be able to be used in the next title. That's something as far back as, 10 years ago, I was wishing that they would take a Call of Duty and just keep adding to it. And that's essentially what's finally happening, although it's going to be at a premium price tag. And this all boils down, if you guys are keeping this for receipts, they're going to come back and bring it back to me and say, Crash, you said Modern Warfare 3 was going to be good. They have a lot to do to get me to like that game in regards to Modern Warfare 2. A lot of mechanics need to be fixed. Netcode needs a complete overhaul and it has to be better for it to be a AAA experience that is worth paying for. And at the end of the day, there better be $70 or $80, wherever you're at, however much it's going to be, worth of new playable content in the game. That has to be a must. That's what everything boils down to, I think, on my opinions of the game. Because as of now, I've kind of reasoned with myself. I've kind of taken a bird's eye view. And I think that the idea of everything carrying over to Modern Warfare 3 is a pretty good deal. You get to keep your content and stuff like that. But it has to justify that AAA price tag in the form of new playable content. And I don't mean skins. Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you followed along on my rambling, on my roller coaster of emotions and opinions when it comes to Call of Duty. Stay tuned for this channel, to the podcast. We'll talk about it. Anything that happens here industry-wise, we will talk about it here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later.